Okay, this is the show with Mr. Toyosi Labiodun. He's a certified immigration consultant with TrueLink Immigration Services, and he joins us to discuss everything immigration tonight. Welcome, Mr. Labiodun. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening.
Okay, I'm just trying to hear the echoes there. Wondering, I'm going to reduce my volume a bit. Well,
Okay.
with an extensive background in physiotherapy, a master's in public health, how in the world did you get into immigration consultancy?
Yeah. Um, I remember that I graduated in 2001 from the University of Ibadan. I had my first degree then, BSc Physiotherapy, and I had my MPH, Masters in Public Health, in 2005. All this while, I was also working. After I graduated, I got employment with UCH, one of the biggest hospitals in Nigeria, and I was working there. But I was doing travel business as a part-time business. I remember the genesis of me starting a travel agency was about 18 years ago when I was refused UK visa. I was supposed to migrate to UK then, but somehow my visa was refused, and along the line I reapplied again. They refused it. I got a lawyer in the UK who assisted me to appeal, but they still turned on my appeal. So along the line, I learned a lot of things. I saw what lawyer did. I also saw what I also submitted and liked. So I learned a lot of things then. And after that time, I started helping people to travel to USA and also process UK visa. And if you remember those times, 14 years ago, that was when we always had this US visa lottery stuff. I've assisted a lot of people migrate to US through that process. Once a year, people will come for 2 months. So I've been doing that for a while. Then finally, when I retired from civil service in 2017, I retired as an assistant director of physiotherapy from UCH, and I was looking like, okay, what else can I do? I was already doing UK and US visa on a part-time basis before that time. So when I retired, I just went full-time into that. And I just sat down that, as a businessman, what can I do to expand my business? And I thought, Canada is a good place to add to what I do. And then the American dream was no longer so easy for people to get. People were shifting from the American dream to the Canadian dream. So I asked around and I realized that I had to go to school to go and study emission consulting. For you to be licensed in Canada as an emission consultant, you need to go to school. I went to school. So I went back to school. I went to Ashton College. I studied emission consulting there. I graduated with distinctions. And after that, I sat for my board exam. And after I passed the board exam, first sitting, I passed it. And as soon as I passed that, I became licensed as a Canadian immigration consultant. And that was the genesis of TrueLink Immigration Services, or TrueLink Travel, as we also call it. So it's my passion. It's what I've been doing for years, but I started Canada stuff 2017. I started Canada process 2017, but finally completed the process in 2018 and became licensed then. And since then, I've been doing this.
So I'm just wondering, you are not.
You said?
Did you eventually make it to the UK or the US or not?
Yeah, my visa was refused, but after a while, I got the visa back. But it took some time. After like 3 years that my visa was refused, then I got the visa. I went to UK once. I got the 2-year visa. I never used it afterwards. But every year I used to travel to US. I was like, finally, I've gotten your visa. I went there. I didn't really like what I saw there compared with what I saw in US. If I remember very well, when I went to UK where I stayed, you have all these small rooms, But when I went to US, the houses you see there, big houses, big size houses, big rooms, So I just didn't like what I saw in UK. And since then, I've just been there once, even though I got the visa, but I didn't use it again.
Okay. So when you talk about, I was reading on your website, that there is a prevalence of unlicensed practitioners, or is it that the way the lawyer in the UK, the one who helped you with your immigration, then he didn't really do an amazing job? My question to you is, unlicensed immigration consultants, are there a lot of them in the market or in Canada today? What
Yeah,
does that look like? I don't know.
yeah, there are a lot of them everywhere, even in Canada and outside Canada. We call them ghost consultants, and a lot of them do a lot of damage to those that want to come to Canada. They do a lot of damage to the applications. Why do I say this? They are ghost consultants. They are not licensed by Canada. Canada is trying to actually protect the public. That's why they actually said anybody that wants to help you with your visa to Canada, either permanently or temporary visa, should be licensed. And when you want to be licensed, for you to be licensed in Canada, you need to go to school. You need to be taught all these things. It's not like you just open an office and say you are now a consultant. You need to go to school, learn learn the process. Then after you have learned the process, you also need to do a board exam. Those are the protocols that you need to pass through to become a licensed consultant. So Canada is doing this, just like I said earlier, to protect the public, not even for us, because they know that the likelihood of someone that is licensed trying to scam is not as if it's not like it's not possible, but the likelihood of someone that is licensed trying to scam a client would be very low, because one, you don't want to lose your license, and you have the knowledge.
Yeah.
Because you have gone to school, you studied, you did an exam, you know about it, unlike many unlicensed consultants who are not licensed. So what I always tell people is, if you want to come to Canada, make sure you use a licensed consultant. And how do you verify this? Our regulatory body is called ICCHC. That's Immigration Consultants of Canada's Regulatory Council. So how to verify that someone is licensed? If you go to the website of ICCHC, just go to Google, just type ICCHC. Once you type that there, you will see you'll see a lot of things, but just click on find a professional. Type the person's name into Google, into that find a professional, type the person's name into it, or type the person's business name into it. If you click search, it will bring out the person's name, and you will know whether the person is licensed. Even if the person is no longer active, you will see that it's not active. If you try that with my name now, you'll see that I'm active. I'm an active member of ICCHC, and that shows that I can represent my clients, and you won't be scared that you are being your file is being handled by someone that is not knowledgeable about the process.
I mean, you mentioned earlier on in your introduction that Canada has become the preferred destination of many people, including Nigerians across the world generally. Why
Yeah.
is Canada such a great place to be, in your own opinion?
Yeah, Canada is a great place to be, and I will talk to you from my own personal experience. There are so many reasons. The first reason is healthcare. Healthcare in Canada is free, no matter the cost of your healthcare, no matter the type of surgery or whatever health condition that you have, you're not going to pay. I remember when we got to Canada in 2018. When we migrated to Canada in 2018, my wife was pregnant then, and she put to birth sometimes in December. When we went, okay, before we went to the hospital for delivery, you know, they kept calling her almost every 2 or 3 weeks for follow up. Come to clinic, come to clinic. If I got to unfortunately for me, it was my phone number that we dropped with them. It got to a stage I had to call her that please change the number of your file to your own number, because they were just disturbing me. They just call, oh Lala, is that Kafwe? I'm just calling to remind you that you have an appointment on this day. After that 2 weeks, they'll call again. I'm like, I'm saying this compared with where I came from. Nobody calls you. In fact, when you go there, many times they treat you like you are not a human being. They pack you in a place. You can be there for, you said, well, you can be there for 12, 13 hours waiting to see your doctor. And at the end of the day, the doctor will not come. Maybe an house officer or a junior rep will come and attend to you. So, yeah, they gave her very good follow up. That I was super impressed. Then when she went to give birth, oh, that was my first time in the labor room with my wife, and we have 3 kids now. We have 2 back home in Nigeria, and we had 1 here. Wow, it was a pleasant experience. When I look back, I'm like, if this is how healthcare is in Canada. In fact, this is one major reason why I would like to stay here. I remember she was it was so we were talking together, we were discussing, she gave back, we were just discussing, it was as if it was just a normal thing, But where I came from, when you are screaming, all these things, the nurses may not be there. In fact, I remember my second child, my wife was in labor pain, and the doctor was trying to listen to the heartbeat of the child, and he was shouting on her, "Stay somewhere now." I was like, she had to spark for him that, "See, can you say I'm in labor? I'm having labor pain. Why are you shouting on me? If you think you don't want to take care of me, please leave me alone." But here is the opposite. The nurse will come to you. They gave us a private room, not like, and we didn't have to pay. Everything was just free. So healthcare in Canada is free. One other experience I had, we went to the US sometimes in August last year, and my son was sick. He was rushed to the ICU in the US. You won't believe that the bill that we incurred in the US, and I'm sure many of you know, but for those that don't know, if you spend a night in the ICU in US, it's not less than $10,000. It's not less than that. It was there for 2 nights. I was shocked when I came back. When we came back to Canada, someone just told me that, oh, government can pay part of this money or whatever. And I sent the bill to them, and I was shocked. They pay part of the money. So that is where Canada is where when you talk of healthcare, Canada is just a place to be. In fact, the healthcare in Canada cannot be compared to anywhere in the world. You get the best quality of care, and you are confident that you are not getting substandard health care. The doctors are always there ready to attend to you, and they give you the best of care. So that's one reason. Then the second reason is we have a very good educational system. I have 3 kids here, and I tell you, we don't pay school fees. Education in Canada is free for children. And I remember that when I was back home in Nigeria, my son, I always wake him up to go to school. But when we got there, the reverse was the case. He will be the one to come and wake me up that, "Daddy, I'm late for school. Let's go to school. Come and drop me in school." So what I'm trying to say is that the quality of education is so nice, and the experience my son and my kids are having here is totally different from what they were having at home. Totally different. So you have free education, for your kids. You don't have to bother. You don't have to think about, I don't have money to pay for school fees. You don't have to think about, oh, I want to take them to a private school. You are sure that the school they are in, they are getting the best from there. So that is one thing that you also get from Canada. One other thing is the low crime rates. There's crime everywhere, I agree, but here, the crime rate here is very low compared with where I came from or many other countries. Here you can drive at night, you can go out anytime. You are confident that you're not scared of driving or of going out. You're not. At times I forget to lock my door. I wake up in the morning, I see that my door is open. So I'm like, wow, this is what you can try back home or in many other countries. The final reason why Canada is just a place to be is the social support system that they have here is just too wonderful. So, yeah, that's a fact. Let's talk about one of the things we benefited when we came to Canada was the child benefits. Child benefits is what government pays for those that have children, and it really helped us a lot when we came. And I also remember that some of my clients that also migrated to Canada here, some of those have helped to migrate to Canada. That was one of the things we assisted them to apply for as soon as they came, so that they could start getting that money as fast as possible. And one other thing I benefited as far as social support, when I got here in 2018, one of the things I benefited from Canada, which is also a social support, was that Canada paid me some money to go and learn business. They paid me about 15,000 Canadian dollars to go and learn business. I've been doing business for many years, and the money they paid me is just for me to learn. They were training me. If after they even gave me a mentor, after the training was for 6 months. After the first 3 months, I was going to there was a program I was going to every day. Then the other 3 months, they gave me a mentor that I was meeting every once a week who was mentoring me to ensure that I succeed in my business. I've been doing business for many years. I never got that kind of support from any government of the countries I've been to. But I got this from Canada, and they also paid me to learn the business. So I'm like, what kind of government is this? So those are things that when I look back, from my own personal experience, when I look back, Canada is just a place to be. And I did that for some of my clients too. Like two of my clients that landed in December, as soon as they landed, I assisted them to get that grant also. They gave them that funds, and they were so happy that, wow, at least they got that money. That money was able to help them do a lot of things, and they are so happy with it. So Canada is just the place to be. Yeah.
There's also really government do a brief for them. In terms of TrueLink services or TrueLink travel, what
Yeah.
do you do for people?
Okay. TrueLink Immigration Services, also known as TrueLink Travel, was actually created to assist people start a new life of opportunity in Canada. And if they're already in Canada, and they want to remain in Canada, we can help them remain in Canada. One of the things, we do a lot of things because we are licensed by the government of Canada to help people process visas. So if you want to come to Canada permanently, as you want to come here as a PR, which is a permanent resident, we can help you with that. If you also want to come here temporarily, like maybe you want to come and visit your family, your friends, or just come here for vacation, we can help you with that. If you also want to come here to study, you want to do a BSc program or a diploma program or a master's or a PhD, we are well positioned to help you with that. And for those that have their spouses outside Canada, we can help you sponsor your spouse to Canada. If you also have your grandparents and your parents outside Canada, you want to sponsor them to become permanent residents, we can help with that. For those that also need work permits, we help with all that too. And one other thing that we also do very well is those that want to come and invest, business and entrepreneurial investor visas. We also do that. So there are some people that have funds and they want to come and invest in Canada. We can help you. We can help you process all that, the visas and the PR, everything that has to do with permanent residents or temporary residents. We are the true link that you need to achieve that goal.
So here, Canada as a self-employed person, how easy or not is it to migrate?
Yeah, Canada has a program for self-employed, even though it has its own requirements. But the basic two requirement for that program is that you must have the relevant experience for that program, and two, you must be willing to come to Canada and become self-employed in Canada. The requirement for the program is not so tough. The IELTS requirement is not really so high, and the English language requirement is not so high. At the same time, the cutoff mark for qualifying is also very low. For example, if you score 35 over 100, you're eligible to apply. So there are so many programs, there are so many operations under that self-employed category that people, those that have that relevant experience in those fields, they can actually use that to come to Canada. So self-employed program is just one of the 80 programs that are available. But many times what we do for our clients is we assess them first to see all the programs that their profile is eligible for. Then we can advise them on the best program that they can use to come to Canada, since we have over 80 programs that you can use to migrate to Canada.
How did people in 2020 study in Canada?
Well, study in Canada. Study in Canada is one of the programs that we also do, and of late, it's becoming more difficult. Why? Because the emphasis, people are moving from other countries to Canada. For example, most of those that want to go to school in the US are now changing to Canada. Those that want to go to school in Germany, or most of the tuition-free schools in Germany, Finland, and Co, they are no more doing tuition-free. And one of the reasons why people prefer to come and study in Canada is because they are almost certain that they will get post-graduation work permits, which can lead to permanent residence. For example, UK stopped that at the time, and because of that, students that applied to UK also started applying to Canada, because what's the point going to spend so much money to school and you cannot work there? You can also become a PR. But Canada has not stopped that. So we have a study to migrate program that allows you to study and later on you can migrate. So it's becoming more difficult because there are lots of people now applying to the process to come to Canada to study. But what's from my own experience, we have been very successful in helping many students come to Canada. One, because we're licensed, we know what they want, and definitely we'll review your profile to be sure that what you are submitting to the embassy is what the consular will see, and it will likely approve your visa. And even if at the end of the day the visa is refused, there are steps that we can take to help you get your visa back. So it's getting tougher. So if you want to come to study in Canada, it's always good that you retain the services of licensed consultants who are knowledgeable like us and they are experienced. So that even if anything goes wrong, there are things that we can do. There are so many things that we can do, to assist you to get your visa even when it is refused.
So can you explain what the ranking system is and what this means for Canadian immigration?
Okay, competitive ranking system is a system that Canada started in 2015. It's a way by which Canada ranks people in order of their score. Competitive ranking system is used for the Express Entry program. An Express Entry program is a program that Canada uses to bring in skilled workers into Canada. So when you are coming into that Express Entry pool, they assess you based on your age, your work experience, your qualification, your marital status, and so many other. There are over 20 criteria that are used for that assessment. So each of those assessment has marks assigned to each category. So the highest mark you can have is 1,200. So if when they now rank you, they put everybody in a pool and rank people in order of their score. The highest ranking members in that pool, the people that have the highest ranking score, which is the comprehensive ranking score, will now be will be given invites by the government of Canada to apply for permanent residence. So one of the things we do for our clients is, if your score is low, there are some programs that we can recommend for you that you can use to migrate if you have a low CRS score, because comprehensive ranking system is CRS score. If you have a low CRS score, there are programs we can recommend for you. Even if it's low, there are things that we can also advise you on that you can do to improve your CRS score, which when you do that and your CRS score goes up, it's almost certain that you get an invite. So competitive ranking system is very important. Your score is purely for skilled workers who want to migrate to Canada. That's what is the Express Entry is what you see CRS score, the competitive ranking system, to score candidates, and they use that to select people from the pool who they now give invitation to apply for permanent residence to Canada.
So on your page, the last score was 479 or so, right?
476. The last draw that they had about 2 weeks ago or 10 days ago was 476.
So if my CIS score is below that, what is the top thing you'd ask me to go do?
No, well, it's an individual thing. I need I can there are so many criteria that you have to assess. That you have, okay, like I told you, the CIS score, the highest mark you can have is 1,200. Okay. So what we do is we need to review your profile first. We'll review your profile. After you have reviewed your profile, we'll now look at all those factors. What are the factors that made you have a low CRS score? We'll look at each of them and see what we can do, and look out for anyone that we can talk to you about that you can go and improve on. For example, it might be your English language skills results, the IELTS results, or self-pick results that maybe you had a low mark in that. If you have a low score in that, it can reduce your CIS score. If you don't have a relative in Canada, it can increase that. Even if you have friends in some places, it can help. But if you have a relative, low CIS score, your age, your work experience, so many factors. So we'll look at that. We'll look at all that. And on that basis, we'll be able to advise the client on, okay, pick this, go and do this, go and improve on this, add this to this. Do you have a relative? Let's add this to, so many factors. So not until we do the assessment, that's when we'll be able to to tell you and advise you. And funny enough, on our websites, the assessment is free. They can go to our website, fill the free assessment on our website. We'll see it, and within 24 hours, we'll get back to them and advise them on all the programs that they can use to migrate to Canada.
Now, some people are saying that Canada is already full. As an accredited immigration consultant,
Well,
that Canada is already full, that Canada cannot take any more immigrants. What say you? Is Canada full? Is there
I
room for many more immigrants in this country?
I totally disagree with that, and the reason is because Canada is a country of immigrants. Canada's economy depends a lot on people coming into Canada. In another 10 years, you're going to have many people retiring from their workplace, and they will need people to replace them. In the next 5 to 10 years, a lot of people will retire. So Canada right now cannot stop. Based on my own assessment, Canada is not yet full. That's one thing. And as of today, as of now, as of this, even during the pandemic, Canada was still giving out invitation to apply. During March they did, April they did, May they gave out invitation, June, So if Canada was full, despite the pandemic, I expected them to have stopped all process of bringing immigrants into Canada. So this is a sign to show that Canada is not full. Because really, when there's a pandemic, people have lost their jobs, people who are working from home, or some were not even working at all. That's a good time to stop giving people invitation to apply for permanent residence. But they did not stop. So on that basis, I want to, in my own view, Canada is not yet full. Canada will still try to meet up their targets, their emission target for this year. The target is about 340,000 for this year.
Do you know where they are in that target?
No. We get the statistics. We get the statistics at the end of the year.
Right.
But between January and August now, they've given a lot of every month they give out almost 8,000 invites to people. But you should know that it's not everybody that they give the invites that will be able to pull through the process. Some will still be refused, while some would at the end of the day get their visas. But at the end of the year, they hope to be able to give permanent residence to about 340 people this year. And based on how things have been this year, they are still in line with that because they've not stopped giving out invitation to apply. Since January up to now, they are still doing that. So that shows that they are still likely going to meet up with their targets for this year.
Are you able to give us are you able to give us somewhat reliable updates as to processing times for immigration services? Because of the pandemic, things are super slow. Some people, I don't know, are adversely affected. Some people cannot bring their spouses in. Some people cannot bring their mother-in-laws in. Things are really chaotic. So are you able to speak to what the processing times look like for basic applications at the moment?
Well, processing time right now, nobody can actually tell you how long it will take for any applications to be processed. That's just one thing. Even their website, when you go to the website where we track it, they tell you it's not accurate. And there are so many reasons for this. One, I'll give you an example of Nigeria. As of today, the VFS office that assists Canada to do biometrics, as of yesterday, they're not yet opened.
All right.
So that means if you submit a visa application, you cannot do biometrics. And if you cannot do biometrics, the likelihood that they will not finalize your application is very high because you need to do biometrics for them to complete your application. But in some other countries, they're already open. So those countries that are open, well, I'm sure by now they might be able to predict their processing time. But generally, processing time right now is not predictable. You can't predict. But for study visa, there's a new program, there's a new process that Canada just started about 2 weeks ago or thereabout. They now made it so that even if you don't have all the requirements, you can still get an approval in principle. And what does that mean? That means that if for example, you are not able to do biometrics and you submit your application they can assess it and give you approval in principle to start your study. But when you are now able to get the requirement that you're not able to do, you are able to get it done, you can go and do it, then update it with them, then they will give you the final approval. So if for those that cannot do biometrics, for those that cannot do medical, for those that cannot do police, cannot get police reports, they can still go on and apply. But that is for study visa alone. For tourist visa or visiting visa, no, they are not. They have not said anything about that. But they said what they have said is you can submit your application. Well, I submitted like 3 actions this week. We can submit. They said they would attend to them as it is in the queue. So the earlier you submit, the better. That's how they will attend to it. First come, first serve. That's how they will attend to it. But we cannot predict when the visa will be issued. But I'm sure that now that things are easing out, the economy is gradually getting up back. All those offices that were closed, because I remember very well that during the early stages of the pandemic, Canada withdrew all its staffs from overseas. They told them to come back. They brought them back to Canada, and many of them are working remotely also. So that slowed down a lot of processes. So nobody can actually predict the process time right now. You can get for study visa. Yeah, right now they are doing a lot of that. They're processing that faster now because of the policy that they came up with. And I'm sure that other ones too, Canada may soon come up with policies that will assist people to fast track their process, or at least give a new direction on how they want to process those visas.
If you're just joining us, Mr. Abiodun, CEO of TrueLink Immigration Service, taking questions about migrating to Canada. So we're asking you to please like and share our content. If you like what you're hearing, please like and please share. Mr. Labrador, thanks again for doing this. I have a couple more questions to go. So what are the settlement support services? You alluded to this. Is one of the things you provide for people when they come from Asia or from Africa.
Anywhere in the world.
Settlement support services. What does this look like?
Yeah, that's one of the things we do for our clients. And we actually realized that when you are migrating from a country to a foreign land, especially when you don't have families or friends in the new country, it's not always so easy to settle down. You have to then when you also move to a foreign land, you don't have a lot of information about the culture of the place, how things work. If you're not knowledgeable about that, there are so many things that you can miss. Like I'll give an example. When I assisted some of our clients to get the grant, as I said, the government paid them about $15,000 to teach them how to do business and the likes of them. So when I also got that, when I told some people who had been in Canada for 10 years, they were like, wow, they never knew about this, and they've been here for over 10 years. So that's why I'm saying that there are some things in Canada that new people will not get to know. And if they are so unfortunate that they did not mix with people that can help them in that regard, then they waste a lot of time doing so many things that they should not do, and that will not help them settle down fast. But because we have a physical office in Canada, and we also have a branch office in Nigeria, but why we're able to do the settlement support conveniently is because we have a physical office in Canada. We have knowledge about all these things, where you have to go, what you need to apply for, what you need to do to get a job. Some people don't know how to write CVs. We guide you on all those things, help you so that if you're looking for a job, you can start. In fact, most times we start with our clients before they land. We guide them on those things before they land. So before they land, they have started applying. So by the time you are landing here, at least you have taken 1 or 2 steps. Instead of coming here and just starting all those kind of things afresh. So that's one of the things that we assist our clients with. Those that retain our services, we help them with settlement support so that their settlement in Canada can be with ease.
Mm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yes, stories of when they come.
You said?
We hear stories of when they come there. So we do know that our degrees won't be, we cannot work with our degrees. We
Yeah.
take board exams.
Yeah.
I'm a doctor, I'm not a cab driver.
Yeah.
Or, you know, What do you say to those people who are unable to carry on? You, for example, you are assistant director of physiotherapy, master
Yeah,
of public health, and
yeah,
you are doing immigration consultancy because you like it, not because it's a
yeah.
lower thing for you to do or a step down from the
Mm.
cases of Nigeria. So what do you say to those people who are unable to dust off their certificates and degrees and just fall into a system like they were previously in Asia or in Africa?
Yeah. Okay. Well, one of the things we do for our own clients is before you come to Canada, we educate you about all these things. If they are, for example, if they are licensing stuff that you have to do before you land in Canada, we would have initiated the process with you.
All
You
right.
know, so that will cut short the time if you want to work in your profession, and you need to, because many professions are regulated in Canada. So we ensure that we help you cut short the time you have to wait,
Hmm.
by ensuring that you have started those processes before you travel down. Now, for those that are here or that are coming or that are here already, and they have to start in a lower level job or what, well, that is the reality you have to face.
Hmm.
There's a sacrifice you have to pay for whatever you are doing. But when you understand that this is um, it's just for a short time. It's not what if you have a goal that okay, this is what you want to achieve. There are some things that you have to give up to achieve that goal. So if you are focused on your goal, that okay, at the end of the day, you still want to use your home license to work, or you want to work in the fields that you are working back home or thereabouts. It's still possible, but you still have to live. You have to eat. You have to eat. You have to do a lot of things, and that's why the settlement support services that we offer, we give our clients. It helps them. It helps them to settle down fast and
Right.
prevent them from having that kind of experience, a bad experience. Because from the start, you already know. We educate you about it, tell you these are the things you are supposed to, these are the things that you expect. These are the things, if you're a medical doctor, you want to come here and work, you have to you have to be licensed, and there are protocols that you have to follow. So we educate them at first before they come, so they understand. So they don't get here and they are now shocked that I never knew this. I had a client who, well, I got to know him much later. It wasn't my client anyway. He was telling me an experience that he was a bank manager, and when he got here, he had to start doing some funny jobs. He said he didn't really find it easy, but right now he's doing fine. So once you are not, you don't lose focus on your goal. You have a goal in mind, even though you are starting in a small place, keep that goal in mind, work towards it. At the end of the day, you will achieve your goal and you'll be happy at the end of the day. That's just what
Hmm.
I can say.
In 2 years, you are the CEO of Trillium Communications
You
Service.
said?
I says this to me that Canada is a doable thing because you came here in 2018 and look at you. You're commanding the world, background and everything. Look at that.
Well, I thank God for all that, but I'm living the Canadian dream. Yeah, I can say that because really, um, I when you have a goal and you work towards it, you have a dream, you put plans in place, you work towards it, you would achieve it. That's just what I believe. It may take time, it may take you some time, but definitely if you don't lose focus on your goal and you do the right thing, you are mentored right, you have the right mentor, you have and you are doing what you should do, not that you are doing other things that you should not do. And with God on your side too, I'm sure that things work out. You'll be able to achieve that. So that's what the story of True Link Immediate Services.
No one may be off track. This is our penultimate question before we ask for your contact details. So let's assume I came here 12 years ago, let's assume, and I've gone off track. Mr. Labiodon, how do I get back on track?
Well, the first thing is understanding your purpose. If you've gone off track already, you sit down, you have to, in fact, just like you said, if someone has gone off track, when you realize that you're gone off track, that's the turning point. Because if you don't realize that,
Track. On track. Where am
if,
I
if
going?
yeah, if at the point where you realize that you're gone off track, that's a good point because one, you know there's a problem. So what one needs to do is, okay, sit down and find out, okay, what are the things I need to do? What goals do you have? What are your dreams? Have you written down your goals? Did you write them down? Many of us are just living our life by default. We don't have any plan. What plans do you have for the next 1 week? No plan. What plans do you have for your life in the next 2 weeks? None. 1 month? None. 1 year? None. We just wake up every day and we just keep going. That will not achieve, you will not achieve anything. So you need to document everything you want to do. What are the goals you have set for yourself? Write them down. Wake up every day, look at those goals. At the end of the day, and when you look at them, it's not just looking at them. You need to now write what you are going to do. What are the things you're going to do every day that you're going to turn to habits that will take you from where you are to where you're going to. So once you're able to come up with those things and you write them down and you take steps to do those things, I can assure you that you would achieve those goals. It might still take some time, but definitely you will achieve it. Writing down your goals, knowing many of us don't have goals at all. We don't even know 5 year plans, 1 year plan. Nobody, so many people don't know. They just wake up and live their life by default. So the first thing is realizing that, you have gotten to a place where you have to do a turnaround. You want a turnaround in your life, and you need to take positive steps to achieve those goals. Once you are ready to do that, I can assure you that it may take some time, but definitely it is achievable.
Mr. Labrador, how can our viewers connect with your wisdom? Where can they find you in this city?
Okay, so you can. Our current address is at. We are online. You can reach us on so many of our social medias. We have our Facebook page. We have our Instagram page at True Travel. The True does not have an E. True Travel. You see a lot of things I will post. We also have a YouTube page. That's also True Travel. We have our physical office in Edmonton here. The office is at 7572 Crepton Place, Southwest Edmonton. So you can call any of our lines. Our phone number is 780 250 If you are calling from outside Canada, you put a +1 in front of it. Let me call that number again: +1 780 250 So if you call us, you can book an appointment with us, or if you want to talk to us, if you have any immigration-related matter that you want to discuss with us, you can book an appointment with us, and you can be sure that one of our immigration consultants will discuss with you, and it could also be me, and help you solve your problem. You can also book the appointment on our website, www.truelingtravel.com, or on our Facebook page. That you can book an appointment there, and definitely we'll see it at our hand, and we'll schedule it a convenient time for both of us to discuss and find solutions to whatever immigration or visa-related issues that you may have.
Mr. Labrador, I want to thank you for taking the time to answer our questions on immigration. We've got a website, truelingtravel.com.
Yeah.
If it's you need some sort of support from Mr. Labrador, please do not hesitate to contact him. He's a certified immigration consultant based here in Edmonton, with branches in Nigeria.
Yeah.
In Nigeria. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Labrador.
Thank you.
Please
Yeah,
like and
thank
share.
you.
Please see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.